I've seen some pretty impressive stats that your customers are putting out there.
Yeah.
So why are top 9%, right, of your customers, how are they outperforming the average so drastically? Because it is pretty drastically. And what are they doing that, I guess, the rest of us are not?
Yeah, this was pretty staggering, right? It's one of those situations where it's the rich get richer. So it just turns out that our top 9% of customers, when we look at the benchmark data, are outperforming everyone else in every major statistical category. So these guys are getting, on average, 1,000 live viewers per event or more.
Okay.
They're getting more than
registrants,
live viewers. 1,000 live viewers. They're getting more than 1,000 on-demand viewers.
Wow.
And if you look at their registrant to viewer ratio, their on-demand viewership numbers or conversions, and all of that, all the numbers are higher. And so when we looked at that, it was easy to say, well, a lot of these brands are huge. They've been doing webinars as long as the streaming network has, for 10 years. They've got a following, and all of that is true. But when we went in and we interviewed them and we asked them, what does your webinar program look like to you? What are the steps that you take? We were able to pull from that some things that work for anyone and everyone. Yes. And I've got a slide for it. So whether you're doing one webinar or you're doing 100, these are things that you should follow. So we start off with a promotional schedule. All of our top 9%ers were very strict in this regard, is that they had a long promotional cycle of 5 weeks. And so they were starting early, but they're always finishing very, very strong. So the last week before the webinar went live, they were doing the blitz. They were doing a couple email drops. They were doing social campaigns. Their sales reps were asking people. Personal invites were going out. And that's because they recognized that most registrants will actually opt in the week of the event. I think it's psychologically 5 weeks out, we're not really sure how our calendar looks. No. We're afraid to commit to something because we don't know what's going to be going on. But the week of, by Monday, you know what your week looks like, and you know where you can slot in an hour of your time to commit to a webinar that you might want to join.
Sure.
And because they know this and they've catered towards these people signing up that week, their conversion numbers are higher, because when I sign up for a webinar on Monday that's occurring on Wednesday, I'm much more likely to attend than if I sign up 21 days out. Things can change, right? More possibility for things to change. So they're very strict in how they run their campaigns. So the other thing that they're doing, I like to say that they're aggregating, advertising, and basically respecting their on-demand webinar. So when the webinar ends, their promotional cycle does not. What they will do is they will go out and they will promote the recording to all those people who didn't opt in to register or view the webinar. That whole base of people, which is a huge part of their list, who didn't decide to show up or show interest the first time. Then what they'll do is they'll ensure that they're housing that on-demand webinar alongside their other marketing assets, so that they can influence, or they can maybe take advantage of the Netflix effect. Someone is searching for a problem to an issue they have, and they stumble upon your webinar and they watch it and they like it and they find it valuable. If it's aggregated in some sort of a hub, what they're able to do is then that person can go to the next piece of content that's relevant and the next piece of content.
Sure.
And while you're at home with your family watching your favorite program on TV or on Netflix, they can have consumed 3 or 4 pieces of marketing content and can be an actual qualified lead by the morning. And the numbers when our customers are doing that is they're driving a great amount of viewership to these webinars. One of our customers got 67% more viewers simply by aggregating it into a portal. So if you're not doing that, I definitely recommend that you do. Now, this stat that's on the screen is something that we saw, it's been around for a couple of years actually, and it says that 1 minute video is worth 1.8 million words on the internet. So this is based around the idea that video gets more click-throughs. People are more apt to click on a video than they are to click on an article to read it. It just gets more engagement and more interaction online. And so what our customers are doing is recognizing this and doing, like I had said off the top, what we do with our webinars, is taking their webinars and chopping them up into short video clips. And those short video clips can be published on social media, on YouTube, on your website. They can be published anywhere. And they give people a taste of what it is that they could learn from attending the full webinar. And then once they've gotten that taste, they can opt in to come back and view the webinar. So this strategy can allow people who maybe aren't that into you or aren't sure that they want to commit their 30 minutes or their hour to you to get a taste of how smart you are and then come back and watch the rest.
Sure.
So when you look at these strategies that the big guys have baked into their process, this can be done if you're running a single webinar or if you're just starting out with a program, and it's generally going to get you more overall eyeballs or more viewers than if you just follow that idea of thinking about it like it's this moment in time. It happens today at 2 o'clock as a webinar, and then it's gone. That's a waste for where we sit.